Hello, this is Imagination with a Healing Garden. I'm going to tell you the story of when I act like you. Once upon a time, there was a goddess. Her name was Infinity. I, for short. Infinity is from a race called Oneists. Oneists have a unique characteristic about them. Their mind can only comprehend one. And it really struggles wrapping its head around it. There is only one population of a oneist, and it consists of only one. Infinity is goddess of everything and one. Infinity is goddess of story. Because only in story can you literally capture everything. And Infinity is only 5 years old. What would you do with Infinity? The first part of her existence, Infinity played with her stories. Her stories existed in multiple, infinite dimensions, right down to her molecules. It was an accumulation of all of her molecules that made up one. And therefore it was that 1 times 12 times infinity is who she was. After a while, she got bored with her stories. But, as they say, 1 is the loneliest number. She did become very lonely. So she did, as all 5-year-olds do. She made a wish. The same wish every one of us makes. I wish my dolls were alive. Her dolls were all the individual molecules within each and every story. And she just wished those dolls free will. Now, the funny thing about oneists and dimensions is they tend to think they're the only one. They also tend to think they are the center of the universe. And they tend to be right. So this particular oneist, because she is the goddess of story, has a serious passion for 2 roles. Actually, 3 roles. You can be the player, you can be the audience, or you can be the author. Now, who is going to be what? We're oneists, so clearly we all have to be the author. Authority lies with the author. One person making all the decisions. It is a perfect role for infinity, whose name is I. But I gets lonely. So I need a network. And that network becomes you. And because we're all molecules, we all have a positive charge, a negative charge, and a neutral charge. That way, the positive and the negative don't come together and collapse. So there are 3 parts to every I. Always. And this is infinity, so really, truly, always. Three times 3 is 9. But they are always centered around an I. So there's 12. 12 networks. 12 parts to every one network. Did I mention I'm infinite? So the one storyteller who has a significant passion for riddles, history, all the subjects, the one craved story, craved companionship, craved a network. She was the author. You are the players. And infinity became the audience. As time passed, infinity started to grow through the 12 stages of growth. The 12 stages are actually the 12 dimensions, the 12 perspectives. We are dimensional thinkers. And when you are the goddess of story, named infinity, when you dream, you become. When you imagine, the story unfolds. When your perspective is formed, a new dimension is created. And dimensions upon dimensions upon dimensions for all of infinity. Because 1 times 12 times infinity. During one of the stages of growth, the oneist developed a prejudice. Now, when a oneist develops a prejudice, that becomes a big problem. Because the only 2 contenders are I and you. But when you're a oneist, there can only be one. So the prejudice began between I and you when they had to decide which one to follow. You could not become I, but I could become you. The problem is you exists to deny the I. And if the I is not there to reestablish I am, the I becomes lost. And that's exactly what happened. The oneist became prejudice. So the one self-sacrificed for you. And that ruined everything. It was like a virus that passed through infinity. Suddenly every you, because the you, the one I, all the other yous followed suit. So all the other yous turned on the I, and I ceased to exist. And when I ceased to forget, I stopped existing. I became you. And the disease spread throughout all of infinity because everybody forgot who I was. Yous have characteristics about them. They are chameleons. They are followers. They must look to the one I, the unchanging, solid, defined archetype, the I. But when that I changes into a you, the entire unit rips itself apart. And all follow and fall into place. The only way to stop all of this is if a single I, the I, gets to the end of the 12 stages and says, oh, I am the I. This is the answer. We just needed a compass. And when we find the compass, we find the first point. And as soon as we know who we are, I can stand up and say, we are oneists. And we are of the goddess story. And she is only 5 years old. And she wished all of her dolls alive, right down to a molecular level. So molecules are now sentient. And then we discovered prejudice, and the I and the you conflicted, and the I became like a you. And then there were no leaders. So all the yous began arguing over who was the leader. Time passed. People forgot. Molecules forgot. The dimensions became lost. Knowledge abandoned. Our minds closed until we could once again only see one dimension because we lost the connection to the network. So we couldn't see everybody else. And we truly thought we were alone. Until one I, who had a severe passion for love, story, imagination, history, all of learning, decided to learn all of it in a very specific order. And then she remembered. And then she understood. And then she knew. And when she found the I, she knew then what she must do. I had to remember, and then I had to understand. And then I knew. Remember, understand, know. I am not surprised that this is another triad. Remember, understand, and know. Remember through play. Understand. Through knowledge. Understand through ethics. believe, and you will know. But I am just an Aya. My network is you. The thing is, if I'm wrong, can you prove it? That's my question. Do I have any faulty logic? Find it. And if you can't, well then, it must be true. The energy field is the electromagnetic field. The thing about energy is it 100% exists around a positive, a neutron, and a neutral. If you bring the positive and the negative together, they will collide. They will destroy each other. Therefore, you need a third part. That third part is the neutral. We are 3 parts. Now, once you locate where it is you're supposed to be on the energy field, where on this planet you belong, and you have your other 2 pieces. One of you is a proton, one of you is a neutron, and the other is an electron. The 3 of you together at the point that you are supposed to be on Earth will connect you back to the network, and you'll plug in. I have found my place with my other 2 parts in New York City, which is why I had to be here. I found point 1 because I'm 1, which means as I find my other 12 networks, we can expand out and connect. Once we connect, we return back to, well, the hive mind. And once you follow the 12 stages of growth, the 12 stages of perspectives, the 12 stages of dimensional thinking, you will be able to see all of this. I've already written down the curriculum. I'll say it again. Prove me wrong, please. Show me where this is not logical. We're oneists. We're obsessed with number 1. Obsessed. We need to unlearn our prejudice. Interesting, isn't it? I've got 1 more dimension to go. This is the 11th perspective. I have no idea what the 12th perspective is going to be. But my next stage is looking for my network. We each have 12. To determine if you are part of my network, take a look at Authenticity City. Read through my work. Decide if it's for you. To determine if it's for you, you have to shut everything off, all of your subconscious mind and your perspectives, everything, until only you exist. No one can have an invasive perspective to pull this off. You have to have something solid, something pure. It has to be pure you, your own pure I. When you get to the point of pure I, then you will be able to find who you are looking for, and there's 2 of them, and you'll be able to find your point of position that you belong on the map. Your best bet is to start with location, because that is your meetup point for your other 2. Just go there. That's all it is. We're not in the right place. We're scattered all over, which is why some of us are congested and others are not. Where do you belong is the first question. But in order to do that, he asked the questions in the wrong order. Socrates, I love you. Where are we going? The first question is, who are you? The second question is, where are you going? The third question is, where did we come from? And then you will have answers to the fourth. why we are here. Who are you? Where are you going? Where did you come from? Why are you here? You are the I in the goddess infinity, goddess of story, goddess imagination. And you are one of her sentient molecules. You are going to your point on the grid. Where did you come from? You come from the point on the grid with your other 2 points, your positive and your negative. Once the 3 of you come together, you might be the neutral. When the 3 of you come together, then you will know where it is you did come from. And once the 3 of you combine, you will know why you are here. That is the philosopher's compass. I found my point. Go find yours. Thank you so much. And may the kindest of words always find you.